AUDI CDN engine timing. So here's the thing. First of all, you have to make sure that the balance shafts are timed properly. So look at this mark. So let me put a mark here to be visible enough. So you make sure that the top mark, which is visible, enters in between the two marks of what I'm holding. So slowly, there you go. Yeah, so there you go. So this is the crankshaft. The crankshaft pulley too has some marks on it. So making sure that it is in place, and making sure the top dead center is well taken care of. Yeah, so tighten it a little. Yeah, so make sure all the marks are visible. Like for instance, I have two balance shafts. Yeah, so I'm marking the marks to make them more visible. So here is the thing. So this is the chain. This chain is for timing the balance shafts with the crankshaft. So these are marked here that has to be aligned with the left balance shaft. So there you go. You'll see. Yeah, it looks different from the others that section. So these are the side. I'll time the balance shaft too. So there you go. Yeah, so very visible. So even at the crankshaft pulley, there is a mark that has to align with the marks. So the three marks. So let me put some mark to make them more visible. So next, I'll have to put the plastic guides to hold the chain together. So here is my guide. So there you go. So I'll have to bolt it in using special. Yeah, so there you go. So the same way I'll have to put the guide, the plastic guide, on this other side. So there you go. So let me tighten it using my impact wrench. Yeah, so I'll tighten to spec or the torque as soon as I'm almost done. So these are the plastic guide. So these for the top are not. So this for the top, not at this particular point. So I have to change. So there you go. So this is the correct guide that it's supposed to be here. Make sure you hold the chain tightly for it not to skip a teeth. Yeah, so it will bring some inconsistencies if that happens. So let me bolt into with its special bolt. So there you go. So let me use my impact wrench. There you go. So there is this guide which I'll have to screw it in to hold. Yeah, so there you go. Screwing it in to hold the plastic guide which holds the chain attached to both balance shafts and the crank shaft. So almost done. Perfect. So remember, the car has an error of low oil pressure. Yeah, so this is the mark, this is the mark. So just making sure that the marks are aligned with the chain, with the balance shafts. So there you go. So let me put this guide on top. Yeah, so this is the one which is supposed to be at the top. Yeah, so it has to be at the top. Yeah, so that is the correct and the rightful position for the guide. Remember, this is an Audi engine 2-liter. Yeah, this engine is featured in many cars, the Audis, the VWs, the Tiguans. Yeah, so let me put the guide, the bolts together. So using my impact wrench to hold it. Yeah, so making sure that I'm talking things to spec. So again, my marks are well in and fitted. Perfect. So just doing some torque to make sure the bolts are in. So another thing to consider will be the camshafts. So the camshafts have to be locked. So I'll have my special tool to lock the camshafts together. So I'm just confirming that everything is well tight. So there you go. So this my impact. So I'm timing the camshafts. So you'll see my locks. Yeah, so the chain has max 2. So I'm making sure that the marks align with what the chain states. Remember, you'll need to have the locks to lock the shafts, the camshafts. Yeah, so there you go. So let me put the guides too, the plastic guides. So that is almost done. So putting the bolts in. Yeah, so remember, everything has to go as per. Yeah, so let me put the chain and I'll make sure that the mark so there you go, making sure that the mark on the crankshaft aligns with what is marked in the chain. So everything locked. The road to test if the error is still there. So the problem was after accelerating at a certain kilometer per hour. So let me try and do 40. So when I decelerate the car to almost stop, let me pull over to almost stop, the car would give me a warning of low oil pressure. I switch off the engine. So now we are at 0. So let me take off again. I'm just doing some tests to see if the issue is now resolved. Yeah, so 30, 40, 50. So there you go, 60. Perfect. So from the first test, the issue is resolved and a thing of the past. So let me see how the car will behave after doing some more tests on it.